I've got a little challenge for you, Sark. A new recruit. He's a tough case, but I want him treated in the usual manner. Train him for the games, let him hope for a while, and blow him away.
I don't think so, Master Control.
Hi everyone, this is World of RVG, and today I want to do a video, and maybe quite a few other videos as well, on gaming, some games, but in general, just the gaming history and how I got into gaming when I was a young boy. And I'm sure we all, whoever got into gaming, back then in the 1970s, have some sort of collective, shared experience of just gaming itself and the history of just the gaming consoles and how that came about, and how we grew up, and we're very lucky and fortunate to grow up in that era where gaming kind of just took over some of our youth. So today, I'm at least going to start off just talking about some of the gaming systems, the consoles, up until maybe the 1982, and just kind of talk about the systems and what we were kind of collectively. I think we all have a shared experience of that, as growing up and learning so much, and, having that exposure to gaming itself and, certain other aspects of our childhood. So today, that this is my introduction, World of RVG's, my experience that I want to share, and that will lead me into some of the other things I'll talk about, like later in other videos about gaming, specific games, what inspired me, what as a gamer, and the joy I have in playing games and having my kids play games, and they still do, and I want to share that experience and see if that kind of brings up some of those old memories that we all have, about gaming. So this is World of RVG, and this is my gaming history.
Magnavox presents Odyssey, the electronic game of the future. Odyssey easily attaches to any brand TV, black and white or color, to create a closed-circuit electronic playground. Odyssey gives you all the exciting action of hockey and 11 other challenging play and learning games for the entire family. Odyssey, a new dimension for your television, now at your Magnavox dealer. He's listed in the yellow pages.
So I was only 7 years old at the time. I'm born 1965. I'm 55 nine now. But I never owned a Magnavox Odyssey. I was just only 7 or 8 when that 1973 commercial came out. So my first recollection of just gaming systems, or just gaming itself, was really Pong. And that started, I think it was at 10 years old, 1975. So, it was my friend at the time had an older brother that had a hit, and he was friends with another person that a couple blocks down from us. And he had the home console of the Pong. And we all, were trying it. And it's like, it was so addictive. We were just playing it for hours. And that was like my first introduction into gaming. And it was like, I was kind of hooked. It was like, this was like, wow, this is at home. We're doing this at home. And that was, a really kind of a crazy experience for all of us at the time as friends. It was just like, wow, this is just like the beginning of it. Because at the time, most of our, what we were doing as kids, I was playing electric football. painting our, players, and, that for sports, because I was into sports, that was, our gaming. The electric baseball, with the little thing that you pull back and the metal ball comes out, and you got the bat, the swing and try to hit it, and that, and then the base runners would run around. Yeah, that was also another game that we also had, and then we would play as friends. The hockey, of course, everyone would play the hockey with the swivel. We'd always go over somebody's house and, be playing games there. Those 3 games. And that was at the time, we were, 10, 11, outside of just playing pinball or pool or bowling, those were kind of our games and regular sports of baseball, football, and basketball, of course. But, that was, just the beginning part, like I said, Pong was my first introduction. And, it was like, well, nothing really happened after that. Then, 1977 kicked. And my dad, got, for a Christmas present from Santa, of course, the Atari 2600. And boy, a lot of us kids, a lot of us were like, hey, did you get the Atari 2600? Yeah, I got it. And I said, well, what game did you get? So we all, I just remember that like yesterday that, we were 12, and it was just like, that was the biggest thing, getting a bike, or, that was the best Christmas gift. And that allowed us friends to get together and play these games. I mean, some of my best memories of the, the 2600, playing, the games like Space Invaders, Combat. Combat was one of my favorite ones. Super Breakout, Missile Command, Pitfall. Hated Pitfall. Always getting killed on that one. Centipede, Pole Position. Used to like Pole Position. Of course, Pong, Atari. Berserk, Jungle Hunt. That was another one I used to hate with passion. Joust. What up there? Defender. The Spy Hunter, River Raid. I mean, those games between 1977, 1978, 79, those were like, the games to play on the Atari 2600. And I spent a lot of time playing that. Outside of, the other places we would go to, and I'm sure a lot of you, I lived in Northern California, so I went to A&W, some of the pizza joints like Straw Hat and Round Table, is specifically for California. So, there they had the arcade machines. And back then, most of us were playing like, Space Invaders, Asteroids, Galaxian, or Galaga. It was kind of the same. But, those were the games that we were initially playing there at the time. Those putting our quarters up on the machine, waiting for our turn. Those were really cool, getting the root beer float or getting pizza, and our friends were going back and forth, and, trying to beat our scores. I mean, those were really, like I said, growing up in that era, it was just like, lightning in a bottle. It was just so fun. Girls were involved too, because that was something that they can be competitive too. They didn't have to, it was always hard for girls to get into male sports. But gaming was kind of universal. So, it was cool because, us young guys got hang out with the young girls in, at there's places like the A&W and the pizza joints. And it was kind of like, hey, if a girl was really good at playing the games, like, that's cool, Yeah, it was kind of like, produce some socializing. And that was some of my best memories. And I'm sure collectively, a lot of us share those same things. When the Atari 2600 came out, and then, like I said, the arcade machines, it just spurred a lot of, us kids, playing games and getting together. So some of the games I mentioned on 26, those were some of my favorite ones. But, at the time I still, I had the Mattel handhelds too. I mean, so I had like the football one, the baseball, and the basketball handheld ones. And those were, that came out in 1978. So it was somewhere in between the game consoles and the arcade machines that were just coming out. And then another game console came out. And that would be, at that time, 1979. Yeah, it was in television. And the television, I liked a little bit. I didn't like the blockiness of it. But at the time, you know, games, like we had a football game, we had a baseball game. And I remember I used to go to my friend's house, and that's the games we would play outside of the Atari 2600. But those two games we would play to death, you know, because they were, you know, sports. And that's what we were kind of looking for, is something that, you know, on the game console that we can play something that gave us competitiveness, you know, to playing. It's not equivalent to playing the real sports thing, but, you know, for gaming purposes, it actually, you know, was a lot of fun. So, yeah, I remember in the arcades, especially, you know, with like Space Invaders, we all had, you know, our own different strategies. I remember the little peekaboo strategy, you know, kind of pick out behind the home base and just inch across and get the lead ones. And then, you know, you try to time, and when the last one's going, you try to time it real quick and try to get this, you know, try to get the saucer too coming across. We all had some little strategies. And, you know, we also, between our friends, you know, started picking up amongst each other how you know, how to pick up, you know, strategies. You know, the same thing with asteroids. You know, you get down to the last one, the little saucer's coming out, and you're zooming up and down through the the zone, or it's, you know, from one end to the other of the screen, go real fast and just, you know, shooting and trying to hit that saucer, because the hot sauce, that little saucer would just, you know, zone right in on your location, the last location you're at. And, you know, just, it was fun. Just like I said, you know, just trying to figure out different strategies. Same thing with the Galaxian 2, you know, just watching each other play, watching other players play, and, you know, trying to progress. And that was the fun of it, you know, trying to not just beat our scores, but just get to the next level. And that's something we haven't seen in the level. It was like, oh, this is like, we haven't seen this one. Look at this. It's, the Space Marines are starting like right on the bottom, right on top of you. It's like, those were, like I said, real fun times that we spent, you know, at least with the arcade machines. And like I said, it was just a lot of fun, you know, just for those, you know, in between those years in the mid-1970s all the way to at least 1979 with the television. And I'll show, you know, trailers of some of the games for the television, of course. So you know, you can see that, you know, the graphics or the, you know, the game really wasn't, you know, really good quality. But like I said, as kids, we didn't have much to bring home to a home console, not compared to what was out in the arcades. I mean, that's the thing, you know, you want, as a gamer, to have the same experience brought home if you can, if it can be achieved, but it really wasn't at that time. So, you know, like I said, this is initially my first video. I will talk about some other things coming on after the television, of course, the ColecoVision in the next video, and some of the other arcade machines that came out, and leading us up, you know, to really the gaming revolution, which was the NES and the Sega Master System. So till the next video, we'll get into that, and we'll talk a little more about the gaming experience that I have, and obviously collectively that we all shared. This is Word RPG, and I'll talk to you in the next video.